CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
A warning tonight from health officials for people in Barrie, Simcoe County, and Muskoka District. Thank you for joining us. A dangerous drug has been found in our communities, an unregulated supply that is increasing the risk of overdose and serious harm. CTV's Rob Cooper starts us off tonight.
The street drug warning is for all of Simcoe County and Muskoka. The health unit says they've seen a concerning spike in visits to the ER, an average of 28 overdose visits a week.
The emergency department visits have really been trending up, so higher than what our baseline was, and building each week.
The health unit has joined several others from across the province in issuing the drug warning. The latest batch on the street is believed to be a form of fentanyl mixed with a type of tranquilizer, and in some cases may have been behind many of the overdoses.
So when folks are buying what they expect to be fentanyl, there's about an 80 to 90% chance that it will contain medetomidine. That
drug is also known as tranq, an animal sedative. Barrie police officers have been equipped with naloxone for several years. It's a spray that can be administered to someone through the nose who has overdosed to try and reverse the drug's effects. The force says it is often dealing with overdoses at a concerning rate.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is something that we encounter on a very regular basis. Bad batches of drugs that get into the streets, and then we do see an increase then of the amount of overdoses we end up dealing with.
People who use illegal substances are being encouraged to make sure they are not alone and make sure they have a naloxone kit nearby. Even if people are given the drug, they still need to see a doctor, as it could wear off, resulting in a second overdose.
Now, the local health unit is hoping this message reaches the people that it needs to get to. Keep in mind, free naloxone kits are always available at your local pharmacy. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
A new partnership is taking aim at human trafficking across Ontario highways as a survivor who founded an awareness initiative joins forces with major travel hubs. CTV's Jack Morris joins us live tonight with more on the campaign. Jack.
Well, Sarah, human trafficking might not look like what you expect, and this new campaign is putting that in bold print along some of the province's busiest highways.
You might soon see this rolling down the highway beside you. A reminder, human traffickers are on these roads.
It's not what people think it is. Human trafficking is a ghost crime. It is invisible, and if you don't know the signs, you don't know that it exists.
Tamia Nagy is a survivor of human trafficking. Now she works with victims, particularly of the sex trade. Nagy says there are stereotypes about the kind of people who are trafficked, but they aren't true.
Most victims that we ever worked with were Canadian girls, Canadian-born Canadian girls coming from small, large towns, traveling to big cities or city to cities on the highways with their traffickers.
She says many victims are being manipulated and coerced, not the kind of physical confinement people imagine.
The reality is that a lot of victims of human trafficking do not self-identify as being a victim, and if they don't see themselves as a victim or know what human trafficking is, they were not going to reach out to the amazing resources that we do have available to get them help.
And that's why an awareness campaign like this one is so important, to help victims and the public recognize the signs in bold letters on these trucks.
If we can only make a difference for one person, that trailer's accomplished something.
Or at en routes across Ontario.
We want to try and prevent that. If we can save one person or stop one person, we think that's worth the cause and worth the effort.
To connect with those girls who don't even know how bad a situation they're in.
If a girl is traveling on the road with their trafficker and scan this truck, they can actually get to a self-identifying tool that's going to help them, that speaks their language, and going to help them to realize that they might be in trouble.
And that can give victims of human trafficking an off-ramp to safety.
The En Route to Freedom campaign posters will be up at 10 en route locations on Highway 400 and 401. The wraps on trucks by the Women's Trucking Federation of Canada, both of them helping to get victims out of human trafficking situations. Sarah.
All right, that's our Jack Morris reporting live. Appreciate that. It is a massive new player here in Simcoe County for our supply chain, and it's already half full. DSV Global Transport and Logistics celebrated the official opening of its new Innisfil facility off of Highway 400, bringing hundreds of jobs and a boost to our region. CTV's Luke Samart reports.
Cutting into Simcoe County's supply chain issues, DSV Global Transport and Logistics celebrated its grand opening in Innisfil.
A very special day for DSV. It's our grand opening of our state-of-the-art facility in Innisfil. It is now the largest multi-client facility in Canada at 1.3 million square feet.
Not only helping with shipping and logistics, but investing in Innisfil. The warehouse will employ 225 people.
We've had job fairs, and very successful job fairs. There's been a lot of, I guess you can say, response and high quality, employees and labor within this market.
Innisfil's mayor says it's been the town's goal to increase employment.
That's what we want to create here. That's our culture, and to bring as many jobs as we can to our area and create that economic drive right here in Innisfil Heights.
DSV choosing its location right in the center of the province, a strategic investment with their state-of-the-art facility, including 160,000 square feet of solar panels on its roof.
We're not that far from the 401 when you look at it, and then if you look at the potential future expansion in Ontario when it comes to highways and investments within this municipality.
It's in such a great location, close to the GTA, close to an interchange on the 400, and we're thrilled that DSV has had nothing but good things to say about their experience here and their build.
Momentum the town hopes to ride as it continues to entice commercial business to the area.
We need to make sure that we have local jobs for our people. We don't want to be a bedroom community. We don't want people to take that however long drive down the 400 to commute to work. We need to create these jobs closer to home and build a commercial tax base.
As DSV officially opens its warehouse for business, it's already at 50% capacity with its first client, Supply Ontario. Officials believe the warehouse will be at full capacity within 12 to 18 months. Luke Simard, CTV News, Innisfil.
Flooding continues to impact communities across our region, with officials saying conditions remain dangerous. Here's what the mayor of Bracebridge had to say.
Here's the North Branch is starting to, if not stabilize, certainly recede. We've seen a reduction of about 4 feet of water on the Big East, which is good news. South Branch, Baysville continues to be steady with some incremental increases. So that's seeing the South Branch not drop much at all. It's been holding pretty steady. Hopefully the next 48 hours we're going to see some noticeable relief as flows start to recede up farther north in the watershed.
In the meantime, everyone is asked to avoid recreational boating as marinas are closed and water conditions are still dangerous. People are also asked to check in on neighbors and watch for updates from the district municipality of Muskoka on cleanup and disposal of flood debris and sandbags. High water levels on Lake Muskoka are putting farmland at risk in Holland, Colbar and Keswick marshes. Rising water and saturated ground are threatening crops and low-lying fields, with some areas already seeing some flooding. Local farmers, municipal staff, fire crews and volunteers have been sandbagging to protect vulnerable spots and to limit further damage. Meanwhile, the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit is warning residents to avoid using tap water at this point, as the floodwater has covered a private wellhead and the water should be considered contaminated. People are urged to use bottled, boiled or treated water for drinking, food preparation and even for our pets. Time now to head outside. Let's take a look at our road conditions this hour. We're bringing you a live view of Highway 400 by Park Place in Barrie. Traffic is flowing smoothly. Tonight, lanes are clear, cars are moving steadily, and it's an easy drive through the area. A great end to the day for commuters on the road, but it gets better. This is what I like to see at Johnson's Beach today. It wasn't quite sunny beach weather, but the view very clear, the water calm. Some beachgoers taking advantage, setting up blankets and chairs and relaxing by the water in swimwear, despite the cooler, overcast sky. That'll surely soon be Casey Colby. Oh no, you've given up gardening? Or was it barista or barbecuing?
Well, just ignore those comments and continue on with the forecast. Thank you very much. No, I was a gardener in the Barrie Garden Club. I didn't look like a barista. They won't let it go, people. They just won't let it go. Let's talk about letting go as far as the sunshine goes, because that's what Mother Nature has in store for us. Yeah, let's talk about first look at the forecast. Brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. 18 degrees, yes. The winds are light for the time being, out of the east, about 9 kilometers an hour. 18, can you do better than 18? Ooh, you can do better than 18. 20 is what you can do better in Alliston. Looks like 20 in Mount Forest. 11 up the street. Yeah, up the street in Owen Sound, 11 degrees, 18 in Toronto, 19 in Newmarket. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the radar satellite images. And yes, some shower activity to the east of us, east of Barrie, that is, and coming to an area near your vicinity quite soon. Yes, I'm going to have all that coming up in just a few minutes' time. The sun's going away for a little while, Sarah. Now, how long it's gone away for and how much rain we have coming in, I'll have all those answers for you in a few minutes' time. Back inside.
Thanks for that, Case. Just 1 week after several children were taken to hospital following a crash between a school bus and a truck, the SIU is appealing for witnesses. Investigators are calling on the driver of this Jeep Wrangler SUV or any other drivers who are traveling in the area at the time to come forward, as they believe some may have seen the collision happen. Officers now say a 16-year-old who was on board the bus has serious but not life-threatening injuries. This is an update to the April 16th incident that happened on Highway 11 in Aurelia at the northbound off-ramp to Forest View Road, causing a truck to roll over, and the driver needed to be pulled out using the jaws of life. The SIU was invoked because an OPP cruiser was stopped on the ramp at the time with its emergency lights flashing. Meanwhile, York Regional Police have arrested 43-year-old Kemoy Clark of East Gwillimbury in connection with a human trafficking investigation. Police say in October of last year, a victim reported being sexually assaulted, trafficked, and exploited in the sex trade dating back to 2012 in Vaughan and other parts of Ontario. Officers are putting out a photo of the suspect as they believe there could be more victims. A religious site in Innisfil has been vandalized, defaced with spray paint. South Simcoe police have launched an investigation searching for this suspect, described as a white man between 50 and 60 years old with a gray beard. It is alleged the man created graffiti on the exterior of the building near Innisfil Beach Road and the Williard Avenue. This happened in the morning of April 10th. In Vaughan now, police are working to identify a suspect in an arson at a car dealership. Investigators shared this video from around 1:40 a.m. yesterday from the lot near Weston Road and Highway 7. A man can be seen pouring liquid on vehicles before igniting a flame. 5 vehicles were left with substantial damage as the suspect fled. A Severn Township man accused of sex crimes involving teenage girls has pleaded guilty in an Aurelia courtroom. CTV's Mike Arsaelides reports, but first a warning that details in this story may be disturbing.
Covering his face with a medical mask before removing it inside the Aurelia courthouse, 22-year-old Ty Aarons of Severn Township pleaded guilty to 1 count of sexual interference, admitting he supplied alcohol to and sexually violated a 14-year-old girl who believed he was 17 at the time. Aarons, the court heard, admitted to hanging out with girls who were between 13 and 15 when he was 21 in the spring and summer of 2024. Aarons, who turns 23 in July, admitted to sexually violating the 14-year-old girl at his home.
Do you have anything you want to say about your actions?
The court heard the girls had been drinking, but Aarons did not. As part of an agreed statement of facts read by the Crown, Aarons, the court heard, got the 14-year-old girl drunk with 12 drinks and tried to get physical with her. She told him to stop twice. After the girl had fallen asleep on a couch, Aarons carried her to his bedroom and violated her. The next day, the court heard, the girl told her friends what Aarons had done to her. Later that day, Aarons invited the girl to his parents' bedroom, and she said no. Still, Aarons carried the girl to the bedroom and violated her again. A few weeks later, she learned he was 21. The court heard from 2 other teens, 13 and 15-year-old girls with similar stories. The 13-year-old girl said she was provided alcohol by Aarons, who never drank. When confronted by others about hanging out with the girl, Aarons said he didn't care that she was 13. The court heard a 15-year-old girl said she met Aarons on Snapchat, telling her he was 17. She admitted to kissing Aarons and being grabbed by him. Eventually, she learned he was lying about his age. A month later, he was arrested, granted bail in October of 2024 to a surety who pledged $7,000 to get him out of jail.
Aarons is scheduled to return to court in May to set a date for his sentencing hearing. Mike Arsaelides, CTV News, Aurelia.
Canada's Financial Intelligence Agency says criminal organizations appear to be using young students from India to extort people and businesses in South Asian communities right across the country. The Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Centre of Canada says extortion targeting South Asian communities has become a sustained, coordinated campaign across multiple provinces. The agency links the activity to several criminal groups, including the Bishnoi and Bambiha gangs. Officials are urging banks banks to watch for warning signs like large cash withdrawals or suspicious wire transfers. A number of items were up for discussion at Barrie City Council's meeting last night, including the proposal for an apartment complex to be built on Arter Road, but this is already facing opposition from residents.
I relocated to Barrie a couple years ago to escape the congestion in the build-up from where I was living. The Patterson neighborhood seemed like a good fit. Now I see it's trending in the same direction as from where I came from.
The 6-story building would have 150 units going up behind a residential area near Crawford Street and Patterson Road in what is currently an unused green space. Committee members heard from 5 people speaking out against the development, the gallery cheering them on, with many expressing concern for water issues in the area.
Elizabeth, homes under 800,000. Bishop, homes under 900,000. Right up to Fernhow, homes under $1 million. Affordable first-time homes for families.
This neighborhood is doing a fabulous job of intensification, probably greater than the county survey. I'm guessing 50% more of those houses have accessory rental apartments already in them.
Looking ahead, the developer has now made a chance to make changes to the plans to address the concerns from residents before the development proposal comes to a vote. As the weather warms up, more people will be heading outdoors, and now health experts are warning that the risk from ticks is higher than usual this year. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth explains.
Many Canadians are now spending more time outside, and Donna Lugar is reminding people tick dangers are re-emerging this spring.
I was in bed in the dark because I had a light sensitivity.
Lugar was diagnosed 14 years ago with multiple tick-borne illnesses. She's urging all Canadians to avoid ticks and the diseases they carry.
You have to make the tick checks a part of your daily routine.
Biology professor Vet Lloyd says bites from black-legged ticks are the most dangerous.
They're going to be spitting into your bloodstream pathogens, disease-causing microbes, bacteria, viruses that they've picked up from the wildlife.
Based on recent medical research, tick-transmitted illnesses are overwhelmingly Lyme disease, but there are others to watch for.
Anaplasmosis, babesiosis, and actually last year we started to see in the most southern part of Ontario something called Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Each are treatable and they come with a multitude of symptoms.
Fatigue to varying extents. Some people have bone and joint complaints where they have inflammation of various joints. Sometimes it's migratory. Some people can have nerve pain.
Lloyd believes the recent harsh winter has led to an increase in the tick population because deep snow serves as an insulating blanket.
They spend the winter in the top surface of the soil, waiting for it to be warmer again.
Which is basically now. According to Vet Lloyd, mid to late April marks the beginning of tick season for many parts of Canada. Lugar agrees with Lloyd, but also warns because of the fluctuation in Canada's climate.
They can be active any month of the year.
Which means she fears Lyme disease and other tick-borne illnesses are becoming a year-round concern. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
If you live in Collingwood, it's time to get your waterfront parking permit. Registration is now open, and all residents need to sign up each year through Hotspot Parking to be able to park for free at designated waterfront locations. Without a permit, paid parking will be in effect 7 days a week from May 15th through October 12th. The rules apply at Sunset Point Park, Princeton Shores, Harborlands Park, and Millennium Park. If your allergy symptoms feel worse this season and you live in Barrie, just know you're not imagining it. A new report from Aerobiology Research Laboratories ranks Barrie as one of the most challenging cities in Canada for seasonal allergies. Barrie comes in at number 3 on the list for 2026 based on days with high pollen levels and the length of the pollen season from trees, grasses, and weeds. The top spot goes to Windsor, followed by Hamilton, with Victoria, BC, and Kingston also making the top 5. Researchers say longer pollen seasons and higher airborne counts are making allergy season tougher for many of us Canadians. The Barrie Colts hit the road to Brantford to open the OHL Eastern Conference Finals against the league-leading Bulldogs.
Bannock pulls it again for the left circle out front. O'Brien, second opportunity. Harebic down. That time it's in. Captain.
Oh, this is a tough one. Brantford struck twice in the second period to build a lead heading into the third, and the Colts fought back and evened the score, setting up a thrilling finish. I guess I gave it away. With less than 2 minutes to go, the Bulldogs found the back of the net and held on for a 4-3 win in Game 1. Game 2, Friday night in Brantford at the TD Civic Centre.
The road to the Memorial Cup is brought to you by the Boots and Hearts Barn Burner Charity Hockey Game.
Earth Week continues, and today folks here in Barrie certainly stepped up. Over 700 kilos of garbage was picked up last year, and the goal to top that. Plus, this local on-stage performance hits close to home, where you can take in the Canadian production, but only for a short time. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Barrie.
April 29th, 2 chefs, 1 epic showdown. The Peggy Hill team presents the Iron Chef at Tangle Creek. Great food that gives back. All in support of the Busby Centre. Get your tickets now. Head to barrie.ctvnews.ca.
Thanks for staying with us. Barrie is getting a little greener today as the mayor and city staff were out at Heritage Park kicking off a community cleanup push.
Green and green. Obviously, council and our entire office really care about the city, and so we're taking our lunch, coming down and cleaning up some of the waste we see around the waterfront.
I spend a lot of time down here walking my dogs and stuff, so it's nice to see that it's clean.
It's all part of the Clean and Green Barrie initiative, a citywide effort inviting residents, families, and local businesses to roll up their sleeves and tidy up parks, trails, and neighborhoods. Last year, more than 8,500 people took part, collecting over 700 kilograms of garbage, and organizers are hoping to top that number this year while keeping Barrie looking its best.
So far, down here at the waterfront, we have a number of pop cans and lids and reusable bags. This is a great event. I think I'm happy to participate. Anything to help pick up and keep things looking nice, especially when we all enjoy walking down here and bringing our pets down here and our kids. We don't want them getting into anything that they shouldn't.
We also have a pixie drone taking the garbage out of the water. So it's not just happening on land, it's also happening at sea, if you will, and we're going to make sure we keep Lake Simcoe clean and beautiful and thriving.
I love watching the pixie drone work. Everyone is asked to sign up, pick up those special collection bags, and help clear litter from public spaces through Sunday. During its 50 years, the Huronia Players have put on more than 200 theater shows, with the latest being a Canadian production called Where You Are.
I'm not about to become dependent on weed to get through my days. Lots of people smoke weed. Yeah, 20-year-olds named Ty who work at the comic book store.
This is the story of 2 Canadian sisters and written by a Canadian playwright named Kristen De Silva. One sister, as you just heard, is brash and outspoken, the other more refined and demure. Both harbor a weighty secret, one that unfolds while taking the audience to life on Manitoulin Island.
Takes place in Little Current on Manitoulin Island. We actually have a projection of the swing bridge that we're going to be using so that people can take themselves into the setting and understand that that's what it is. Life always has some humor and life always has some sad moments, but there's plenty of humor in this one.
Take it off. She looks like a doily.
A doily, that's funny. You can catch Where You Are at the Midland Cultural Centre from April 24th through to May 9th. This is National Volunteer Week, and today I spent the morning in Wasaga Beach surrounded by our community. It was with Probus at the Beach, celebrating a 28th anniversary. I had the privilege of speaking to the fabulous group of women about my upbringing and career path. I know it says town of Wasaga Beach there, but it was with the Probus Club. Yeah, I discussed the highs and the lows and what I've learned, and it was a great group, including a member named Ruth. Ruth Hello. She shared that her 16-year-old grandson just loves watching CTV Barrie. A special hello to Tristan. Thanks for watching, buddy. Now, speaking of volunteerism, coming up next, it's one of our province's highest honors, the Ontario Medal for Good Citizenship. And we have a local lady who's been given the honor joining us. That's in just a few minutes. But right now, we'll head outside. Case is in Bob's Garden.
On this day, 1985, Police Academy 2 was keeping us laughing as the #1 movie at the box office, and it was a sweltering 28.5 degrees for the third day in a row. Record heat. Enough of that, says our weather watcher artiste. Have a look. Yes, Nathan says the real news is our cranberry tree's going to feed a lot of squirrels and birds this summer. Nicely done. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And next week on the show, we're giving away Bluetooth speakers during the 740 contest.
So make sure you're listening weekdays from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
That picture right there could get me to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. I'm such a bandwagon fan, aren't I? We are celebrating playoff spirit. Whatever sport it is, whatever league it is, keep those photos coming. Picture this at ctv.ca. Casey Colby, you may or may not have heard that it is my birthday. It was my birthday. I joke that it's birthday month since it's such a big one. This is how fabulous our team is. Mike Lang knows that I like pickles, okay? So for my birthday, he got me not one, not two, not even just three, but 4 liters of pickles. I've put them in the shared fridge here, and look at the dent we've already managed to put in them. Isn't he the best?
Did Langer already get into the pickles, or?
He did indulge. I offered, and he indulged. And listen, Case, if you two have a hankering for a pickle, I could probably give you one. Maybe two.
Yeah, well, you are the pickle queen. We all know that. That is for sure. And hang on to those pickles, Sarah. Hang on to that brine. That's there's brine in the air out here. There really is. We're smelling fertilizer of some kind going on out here. That's for sure. And let's talk about a change as far as the season goes and a change as far as the weather goes. And Mother Nature, here comes the blender. This is starting off with the temperature. Look at the difference in temperature. 12 degrees right now in Owen Sound, and down the street 20 in Mount Forest, 20 in Alliston, call it 14 Parry Sound, 17 in Gravenhurst, and I'll tell you right now it's 18 degrees in the Sunshine City of Orillia. A record 28.5 degrees back in 1985. Oh yeah, the Police Academy 2 reference. Love those Police Academy movies. Minus 12 for record low in 2020. Sunrise 6:20, sets at 8:14. 13 hours and 54 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar. Increase in cloud cover. Is that it? Is there just cloud cover? Is there nothing else other than the cloud cover? Well, yeah, there it arrives, the left side of the screen, a little bit of shower activity. Well, we'll see how much. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake, Simcoe. Overnight temperatures, 3 degrees. Yeah, 7 and 3, increase in cloud cover. Now there's slight chance of a shower this evening, a passing shower. Winds will be light out of the south-southeast. And then for tomorrow, temperatures 11, 12, 15 degrees. Now we're looking at mainly cloudy skies. There is a chance of a little sprinkle first thing in the morning, and then it clears in the afternoon, and then tomorrow night more on the way as far as showers go. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 5 and 6 degrees. Increase in cloud cover. 60% chance of a passing shower this evening. A light shower, if you will. 12 and 14 degrees tomorrow for the highs. Mainly cloudy. 60% chance of a shower in the morning and then clearing in the afternoon. And showers come back late afternoon. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, 1 and 3 degrees overnight. Partly cloudy skies. Slight chance of a shower except in Halliburton. The Highlands doesn't look like you're going to get any chance of a shower for this evening anyway. And again, tomorrow looks like 15 degrees, 14 in Halliburton. Mainly sunny in Halliburton. And sun and cloud mix. Slight chance of a morning shower clearing into the afternoon. That's tonight. and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast, and it looks like this starting in Simcoe County. Cloudy skies. There's a 40% chance of shower activity as we usher in the weekend. Saturday, 11 degrees for the high, 13 on Sunday, back into the sun and cloud. Warmer still on Monday, 15, sun and cloud, and Tuesday arrives. Cloud cover, 30% chance of a shower, 12 degrees. 5-day extended forecast, York Region. Have a look. Saturday at this point, cloudy and 60% chance of showers, 10 degrees for the high. Sunday looks lovely, 13, sun and cloud, fair skies we call it. Fair skies again on Monday, 16. Tuesday, cloudy skies, slight chance of a shower. Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton, and there you go. Everybody gets cloud cover, and not everybody gets the shower activity on the weekend, or in any way on Saturday. Cloudy skies, 13 degrees for the high on Saturday. Sunday looks lovely all the way around, 15, sun and cloud. Monday looks gorgeous, 17. And Tuesday, 30% chance of a passing shower and 13 degrees. We are really loving the sun out here, Sarah, me and all the camera folk. And we're hoping that maybe Mother Nature introduces a little bit more sun over the next little while. How about you?
We have another local recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Ontario Medal for Good Citizenship. She's joining me now, Debbie Kerwin of Huntsville now for the last 23 years anyhow. It's great to have you in studio. I didn't know if this was going to happen. We've been waiting for days for the water to recede. How does your house look right now? Is it still surrounded?
I was surrounded on the front. We're on a lake, Lake Vernon, and behind me is the road, and the road was flooded. And it was just the road that was stopping me from getting out.
And is that because of the van?
Yes. I have a van that has been retrofitted so that I can drive it. And in order to do that, they had to lower the floor. So I've been in water before, and it was a lot of damage. So I was stuck until today.
We've got some photos here. Let's begin with the band shell. Why is this photo so special?
Well, this band shell was the idea of my husband, and it was his vision, and he made sure that I could get on it, make it accessible for anybody. And he recently passed 4 years ago, to April 14th, same day as the awards ceremony, and they named it after him, so it's now called the Ross Kerwin band shell. Yeah,
so the medal, which you've donned here today, was given to you on the 14th. Were you expecting that? And why was this ceremony a little different for you than some of the other recipients?
Well, I had no idea. I was really apprehensive of what to expect. But it was an amazing experience. And of course, when I travel, there's always hiccups. And the hiccup was they couldn't get me an accessible taxi to go from the hotel to Queen's Park. And thankfully it wasn't raining, so I had to hike it in my wheelchair. And when I got down there, I hit a bit of cobblestones. Well, my shoes fell off. And there happened to be a policeman and a security guard right there. And of course how can we help? I said, you put my shoes back on. So the police officer bent down and put my shoes back on. And then I made my way through security. But it was an amazing, and I'd never been to the building, inside the building, even as a child. And I was just blown away with the history. It was just beautiful. And it was all accessible.
There's one last image I'd like to share with our viewers. You are on the committee for the Rotary Club. In this particular instance, you are presenting a check to the Curling Club, but you were also, as seen on TSN this last National Curling Day in Canada. Why is the Curling Club something that's so important to you?
Well, when I lived in Toronto before my accident, I curled, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. It's a very sociable sport. So when I got to Huntsville, the curling club wasn't accessible. So I've been working on the curling club for 20 years to get it accessible. And so now it is. They've renovated it, and it's accessible, and they were celebrating their 150th anniversary. So TSN came and did their show from our curling club. So I'll be curling in September.
What might you say to somebody else that's perhaps living in a wheelchair, or for those that might be considering, advocating for others? Why do you find it so rewarding, and how do you, spearhead everything that you do with such confidence and with a sense of humor?
Well, I'm a teacher by trade, and educating people on accessibility and disabilities is the key. But when I arrived at Huntsville, I could only get in half of the stores on the main drag. And when the Parasports came, it was a dual goal because I wanted to shop. And that's where I started. And then it just blossomed from there. And as a teacher, if you're teaching and you're talking about stuff you really know a lot about, it's easy. And then you have the aha moment, as Oprah would say.
Well, and your speaking will continue. I understand you'll be joining council on Monday. I've been speaking with Debbie Kerwin, local recipient of the Queen Elizabeth II Ontario Medal for Good Citizenship. Still to come here on CTV Barrie, it was a late night at Legislature. We'll explain why. What happened at Queen's Park on the other side of the break. Time now to recap our top stories on this Thursday. A new partnership is taking aim at human trafficking across Ontario. The En Route to Freedom campaign posters will be up at 10 highway locations on the 400 and 401, and there will be truck wraps put on by the Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. Simcoe County Muskoka District Health Unit says it has seen an average of 28 overdose visits a week, issuing a drug warning tonight. The latest batch on the street is believed to be a form of fentanyl mixed with some type of tranquilizer. And DSV Global Transport and Logistics celebrated its grand opening in Innisfil. The warehouse will employ 225 people. They're already at 50% capacity with its first client, Supply Ontario. It's expected to be at full capacity in the next 12 to 18 months. It is another day of uncertainty as the situation in the Middle East continues, bringing a jump at the pumps. That's according to gas analysts, and prices are expected to go up 6 cents a litre tomorrow, bringing the average price for regular to just under $1.74. Diesel will also climb 8 cents after increasing about 10 cents today. And just hours after Trump extended the ceasefire, Iran fired at 3 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz and seized 2 of them. The Iranian regime released this video claiming to show its troops capturing the ships. Now, this incident has caused some more repercussions, rattling the oil markets once again today. Let's go ahead and take a look at how Canada's stock market fared. The TSX was down 42 points, the Dow was down 179, and the Nasdaq was down 219. And commodities, oil was up, closing at $95.85 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,724 an ounce, and our dollar was down, ending the day at 73.06 cents U.S. MPPs stayed late at legislature last night as the Ford government works to pass its omnibus budget bill, which came to a final vote today. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has those details.
Anger across the aisle as MPPs pass Ontario's 2026 budget. A budget with a tax cut for small business, a cap on ticket resale prices, and more money for home care. But tucked inside, a dramatic, retroactive change to freedom of information laws.
This is a budget that is about protecting the Premier and his phone records, because guess what? We all know that this Premier has been up to something.
The overhaul will keep phone records from the Premier, ministers, and their staff secret. It comes after a court ordered Doug Ford to turn them over. He insists
95% of all information will be able to FOI.
Is that the 5% that is related to the RCMP investigation of the $8.3 billion Greenbelt scandal? Is that 5% related to how the government's using the Skills Development Fund as their own personal piggy bank?
The finance minister argues this is about matching Ontario with other provinces and the federal government.
The Westminster model on cabinet confidentiality is critical.
He already knows that there's cabinet confidentiality. He's trying to pull one over on everybody.
The anger in question period didn't only come from the opposition benches.
Why does this Premier, who claims to be accountable, make it so very hard to hold?
Do you know why the members down here? Because CP24 didn't want her anymore, bottom line. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts when you aren't wanted. There's a reason why you're here.
An outburst that some opposition leaders think demands an apology.
That is beneath the office of the Premier, an office that he's privileged to hold.
I think it's just another example that the Premier's out of control.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Coming up next on CTV Barrie, Bieber is back in the spotlight. The Canadian music icon took to one of the biggest festival stages for a second weekend, and now his hometown is shouting it from the rooftops. Details next. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. 4 back-to-back episodes of New Girl starting at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. Welcome back. Justin Bieber has re-entered the charts following his appearances at Coachella Music Festival, now being dubbed Bieberchella. As CTV's Heather Centerin tells us, his hometown, Stratford, Ontario, is jumping on the success.
Uh-oh, it's muted. 1 second.
Justin Bieber surprised fans at Coachella this year by duetting his old songs.
Wait, there we go. Oh, wow.
Even some of his old YouTube videos from before he made it big. There for weekend 2 of Bieberchella, Laura Braga from Brazil.
I cried the whole concert.
Braga went from the iconic Ferris wheel in Indio, California, to the Steps of Stardom Bieber exhibit at the Stratford Perth Museum. 2, 1. Braga is still emotional. She's been a fan for Bieber's entire career.
He was just a kid, and I have this dream to hug him, to have a moment with him.
Let's go.
His Coachella run reigniting that Bieber fever.
That definitely, I think I speak for most people when Bieberchella kind of reopened that for us. We were like, we all care about him and he made a huge impact on our lives.
The Stratford Museum's Bieber exhibit has been around since 2018, but it's been bustling even more in the last few weeks.
His legacy is undeniable, and I think that performance at Coachella just proves that this is now a new iteration of Justin. This is Justin the man, the father.
Not only do believers get to see hundreds of Bieber-related artifacts,
I can remember the clothes he used, and I can remember of myself in my room watching him wear these clothes.
A recent addition, fans also get their hands on some of his old belongings, from jerseys to shoes. And at the end of the tour, their Polaroid goes on the wall, a place where the Biebs himself signed.
So his fans get to become part of living history, part of the exhibit, and he will come back one day, we hope, and he'll get to see that.
Braga left her own mark on the wall, adding later that she'll never leave the Belieber fandom.
Thank you, Justin, for everything. It was amazing growing up with you.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Stratford.
Is there somebody you would weep if you got the chance to hug them, Case?
Well, I got to think about that one. But favorite Bieber song?
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, see, I'm more of an eeny meeny guy with the Sean Kingston. Oh, yeah, I love that one. Remember that one?
No.
Sarah, come on. I got to up your Bieber game. Come on. Let's talk about up on the game as far as first thing tomorrow morning. For the Get Up and Go forecast, does it look like this? Is Mother Nature up in it? Well, the Iron Chef thinks so. And certainly, predominantly cloudy skies. It looks like we could be looking at a shower in the Barrie area. There we go. 4 degrees for the at 7 o'clock in the morning. It looks like cloudy skies and chance of a shower Newmarket, 5 degrees. And 3 degrees in Gravenhurst at 7 o'clock in the morning. Predominantly cloudy skies. Could be looking at a shower. Have yourself a great evening. Back inside.
The team is now singing the song that Casey mentioned. It will be stuck in my head all night. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks for being here. Have a fabulous evening.